Hello.
Okay. Hello. We're back.
We're back. Space Reserve Podcast. Another
Yeah.
day, another dollar.
From your mouth to God's ears. Any day now.
Right.
Yeah, episode 5. Can I just say, really proud of us for being consistent.
I agree.
So,
It feels like it's been, because in my mind, I was like, it's been 5 weeks. No, we released 2 episodes 1 week, and then we've continued on from there. But
so it's been a whole month.
yeah, almost.
So that's actually crazy.
I know.
I don't
I
like
know.
the way that time moves. Once again, hate that.
Yeah.
But fun. Did we have it? Did I say it's Space Reserve? That's our podcast. I feel like at the
Yeah.
last one, we didn't say what the podcast.
No, I thought
name
the same
was.
thing. I said it a couple seconds ago because I was like, wait, we
Okay.
haven't said it
No.
since we announced that that was the name of it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well,
All right. Yeah.
I mean,
let's
I
get
guess
into it.
first I want to say, like, so happy and pleased with the reception of the last episode.
Mhm.
That was something that, I mean, I'm most proud of that episode, even though we've only had 3 other episodes out. So let's, you know what I mean. But we put so much effort, especially you put so much effort into, like, the research of it. And then I, like, threw a game together and we made it work because we were like, should we review the outfits for the Met Gala? And we decided not to. And then we were like, okay, so now what?
And
But I think,
we did it.
yeah, I think what we did was like really cool. And I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
So,
And turns out not a lot to review from the Met Gala, so it doesn't matter.
woof.
And
That's what I'll say.
That's our Met Gala review. Spoilers. Yeah, no, that was so fun. I loved doing all the research for that so much, and the game was so fun. And we have another game today.
We do.
I'm so excited
do.
for. Yeah. So, and we're gonna do more Fashion Police stuff probably. at
Oh, yeah,
some
I've
point.
been, heard the, questions about the Connor version of the Fashion Police. I'm currently doing a feasibility study to see if we can find 16 outfits of Connor's that we're like obsessed with. So I'm currently on the hunt for that.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, we didn't have to do a feasibility study for Hudson's outfit.
And that is, and we will move forward. So,
So, is there anything else? Any other updates or catch-ups?
no. I just wanted to say that, like, the last episode I really enjoyed researching and making and crafting and all of that. So, yeah.
Do you also listen to them? Because I literally put it
Yes.
on and I was listening to it and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. They're so smart. They're so fun. And then I was like, wait, it's me and Kennedy.
Right. No, I do listen to it when I drive home. I listened, I think the last time I listened on YouTube, but the other times I listened on Spotify. But yeah, I'm also a viewer. So, yeah.
Love it. So many people always say like they can't hear, like listen to their voices. Well, I
Not
can.
me. I also can. When I'm like talking normal, if it's like a video of like me and my friends or something, then I absolutely am not listening to that because I want to hurt everybody around me because I sound crazy. But in
Yeah.
like this context, I 100% can, and I do, and I have, and I will.
It's like, I mean, people do say like, well, she really likes to hear herself talk. And it's like, yeah.
Right. And what if
So-
I do? We also just need to make sure, like, especially for the first episode, we had to ensure that the things that we were talking about were not in the episode. So that was that was different because we were actually, like, talking about many things that we had to cut out. But, right. Well,
Yeah. Well, okay.
to start this episode out by telling you a story of, like, something that happened last week with
I'm
me.
like, so nervous.
So I'm assuming I didn't tell you about like what happened with this waiter at during lunch
No.
when I was at work last week.
No.
So so usually I bring my lunch because I'm like don't want to spend money, but my coworker asked me if I wanted to get lunch with him and I was like obviously. So we go literally across the hall. Like it is like connected to the building that I work at. And we're like sitting there waiting for the waiter to come and like get our food. And my coworker goes there at least like twice a week. So like they all know him, but they don't really know me like that. Anyway, so a waiter came out who I had met once when I was getting lunch with my coworkers. And he opens the door because we were sitting outside, and he literally stops and he like looks at me like, and I said, "Hi." And he walks up to me so strangely that I was like, I don't think he heard me say hi. Like, why is he walking up to me like that? Long story short, he was like, I've met you before. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what's your name? And I said, Kennedy. And then he was like, I love your frame, talking about my glasses. And I was like, thanks. And then he said, where did you get those pretty brown eyes from? Now, let me stop the track right there, because y'all might be thinking that this is someone that I'm unattracted to. Now let's look at it through the frame of somebody who I think is cute, and let's think about that.
My God.
So now we have to redo the narrative. So I know that that was cringy.
No, it's only cringy if they're not attractive. Sorry.
That's the thing. That's why I had to change the narrative on y'all. I was low-key into it, and I know that it was cringy. I was low-key into it. However, I started behaving so strange after that. Because, well, first of all, how can you ask me that question? Like, what am I supposed to say? So I was like, my parents? And he was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, he said it in that kind of way, and I was like, okay, so he's like hilarious. And then they just started talking about stuff, and for the rest of the day, or the rest of the lunch, I acted weird. And then he started acting weird, and I was like, is he acting strange because he thinks that, like, I felt like he was being inappropriate? And so then it just became, like, a mental spiral and all of that. And at the end of the day, my question was, am I acting so awkward and so strange because of my lack of experience?
No.
And now we've made it to the topic of the conversation today, which is late bloomers.
Right, which we'll get into, but I have some things I want to say about this story that I just heard right now, so I don't know how we can move on. What the hell?
Right. Yes.
First, I want to say, I think it's a shame that in today's, like, dating world, and we'll probably get into this later too, like, because there's not so many people, like, meeting out at bars and stuff, that we have lost the art of the cheesy pickup line. And I think as long as it doesn't come along with creepy vibes, men specifically should be using cheesy, cringy pickup lines more. And that is a great one. And so I really commend this person.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone talks about, like, we lost the art of, like, being cringy. Like, just take a risk and, like, say something that might be so cringy.
Right.
So I appreciated it. And now I feel so strange going to there for lunch, because if I see him again, I feel like I have to seem cool.
Well, you know what you have to do next time you see him?
Compliment him.
You have to say, where'd you get those pretty brown eyes from?
Can you imagine if I did that? If I had the courage and the swag to do that, I would do it.
You literally do.
We'll see.
I believe in you.
We'll literally see. So,
well, I just, like, now I'm making up a story in my head where you guys, like, work so close to each other and you're, like, always seeing each other, and it's, like, a rom-com. I'm obsessed. Oh, my God, you guys crashed into each other in the hallway. He dropped his stuff.
Can you imagine? I'm actually so scared that I'm just going to act so fucking strange for the rest. Okay, I'm not going to put that on myself. I'm going to act normal. It's going to be fine. At the minimum, I want to, like, be flirty. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make him my boyfriend, but it would be so nice to, like, have someone that I can flirt with. And obviously it makes it easy because he already handed it, like, he already showed me that he's, like, into it.
Yeah, he opened the door.
He did. And he's going to be my waiter, potentially, if we are communicating. So I know that, like, you know, there's, like, also, like, a boundary there. So, like, it makes it feel, like, not scary.
Yeah.
But that happened to me, and I once again am left with, like, the embarrassment of being like, is it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing that I acted so fucking strange? Or maybe he didn't even think it was strange. I don't know, but
I'm so sure that it was so much less strange than you think. Like, you were so much less strange than you think you were being.
Hope so.
That's how the brain works.
I hope so.
Anyway, I'm excited to hear updates on this now.
Yeah, I also have to, like, get the courage to, like, do things by myself anyway. which I've been trying to push myself to do. So it would be nice to just go there by myself and not feel like I have to bring one of my coworkers just
Right.
to see if he's fucking there.
Yeah. Anyway, as I said, I'm excited for updates on this situation now.
Yeah, we'll see if I have any moving forward.
Then now getting into it.
Right. And now getting into it. So the episode today is going to be centered around late bloomers. I technically identify as one, even though I can see how the concept of late bloomers is so like, ew, like what does that mean? Like you have to bloom. Blooming only means that you have to like be with someone else to like bloom and all that type of stuff. So I get that as well. But
Yeah,
so
also-
what? But I think everyone also has like a different definition for what that even means.
Well, someone, because we posted this on Instagram and someone responded to it being like, what is a late bloomer? Like, what do you consider a late bloomer? But I'm like, yeah, it's probably really like context specific, like not even in a country, but like in a region, in a country, in a, you know, a specific religious group or whatever. Like the concept of a late bloomer, what that is going to be different. Like I felt like within my context growing up, I was a late bloomer, but I can see that if like you're from somewhere else where like being in your like early mid 20s before you have like your first like romantic sexual experience, like that might be normal, you know?
Yeah.
So it really just, if you feel like a late bloomer, then like you are one.
But that's
you know?
so like, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what I kind of defined it because I thought that I was a late bloomer when I hadn't had my first kiss and I was 14. You were also 14?
I was also 14.
Girl, the same time. We were both having our first kiss at the same time.
That's crazy. And I felt like such a late bloomer. And I
Yeah.
remember like, wow. Yeah. Basically, I was like, I need to do this now. I just got to get it over with.
Quite literally, I was like, who wants it? Like, I made a whole big deal about it. Everyone knew it was like a whole thing.
What was this? What's your story?
Okay, so first of all, spoiler, I found out later that like the guy that I had my first kiss with had like an obsession with taking other people's first kiss. Like, yeah, because
So crazy.
I know, because I was in color guard / like the flag team during high school. And the first day of band camp, we all went around and said like who our first kiss was. It was me and like 3 other girls, all saying that our first kiss was the same motherfucker. I said, oh, okay. Oh, well. Anyway, so yeah, I was freshman in high school. I had a crush on this guy. We had a crush on each other since like middle school. I had a crush on him and his best friend. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I was like texting guys, but none of them really like we weren't like interacting in person. But he was like the one guy that like wanted to interact like off of Facebook and like off of texting and like in person. And that's when I was like, whoa, like the idea of someone actually liking me back in real life is something that I don't want to deal with. But I went with it anyways. So he asked me to homecoming because I like was like, I'm not gonna kiss you, I think, if we don't go to home or something. It was some dumb bullshit. And so he asked me to go.
Quo for homecoming date first kiss.
Thank you. And homecoming happened. We had our first kiss. We had our first kiss, and then later we started like making out, and I got so overwhelmed with shame and anxiety because I was like, I bet you every single person in here saw that. And so I like ran into the bathroom and started weeping like somebody killed me. And then for the rest of the night, I like hid from him basically because I just felt so ashamed of myself. And then after that, I acted like my parents took my phone and I couldn't text him. And then we just basically just stopped talking. So totally my fault. But like it was because I just felt so much shame about it.
Sometimes I really miss being 14 because you would do the craziest stuff out of pure emotion.
Yeah.
And be like, the consequences, I don't know about those. Whatever those may be.
Yeah. And also
Love
just
that.
like the idea of feeling shame around like kissing and like romance and love has stuck with me to this day, and that's very unfortunate. But that's like the main thing that I think about is the fact that like right after that happened, I ran away, quite literally ran, and he didn't know where the fuck I was for the rest of the night.
Amazing.
So what's your story?
My story is I hate thinking about it. Okay, so when I was in the 7th grade, so I was 12, I had a really big crush on this guy. And right before the summer, we like went on a school trip and we like held hands on the school trip. And then we kind of were like dating, but like only over text.
Yeah.
You know?
Of
As
course.
it goes. I found out through a friend I remember over the summer that he was also texting with another girl in the class. So I said, I'm getting cheated on right now. So I ended it. Anyway, and then 8th grade goes by, still nothing happening for me.
Yeah.
We get to like the summer before freshman year. So I had just turned 14. I think it was the summer. Yeah, it was the summer before. No, it was the summer after freshman year, of course. And yeah, I was like going into like the big high school for sophomore year, and I was like, I cannot go into the big high school because I was at like a small private school. I was like, I cannot go into the big high school never having had a kiss.
Yeah.
So I text this guy because we were still kind of friends, if he wants to go to the movies. We go and see the movie Brave.
Right.
So we're going to see Brave. At this point, I don't know that we're going to kiss, but I'm like, we'll hang out and like maybe we'll hold hands and then like maybe at some other point we'll kiss. Joke's on me. Movie starts. This is the one and only time I've ever seen this movie. Immediately his like hand is like on mine and I'm like, okay, we're holding hands. Next thing I know, it's like moving my leg. And I was like, okay. And then he leans in. I'm getting a 14-year-old's tongue down my fucking throat. Like, it's not even like a little peck. It's like he goes full on makeout. In my head, I'm like, why do people like doing this? This is so terrible. Like,
Yeah.
obviously. I don't remember the rest of the movie. I just remember being like, that's that. I'm out of here. And then it never...
Yeah.
Never happened again. I don't remember what happened, but actually so funny because I ended up hooking up with the same guy like 4 years ago.
Period.
So
Or maybe not.
no, it was so much better. I was like, wow, you really
Okay.
improved since you were 14.
Right.
So
That's
yeah.
good.
But I'm really triggered by the movie Brave. I hate when I see anything like I can't.
That's literally me because when my first kiss was what was it? What was it? How to Love by Lil Wayne. How to Love. That's the song that was playing when I had my first kiss. So like I hear it and I'm like, oh,
Literally.
right. So Brave and How to Love. Love it.
Imagine.
Very triggering pieces of media for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But anyway, so that was our late bloomer first kiss story.
Yeah, that was the late bloomer first kiss. As you were talking, it just made me think like late bloomer is the entire concept of it is rooted in pressure and shame, like quite literally. But okay, so
Well,
do
because
you
also, like, I had that makeout session, didn't kiss anyone again until my senior year of high school.
Me too. I don't think I kissed anyone until study abroad in college.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, well, I got her done. Now what?
Right, and had to deal with the emotional processing of the consequences. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Also, now that I'm like nearly 30, I look at a 14-year-old and I'm like, you shouldn't be kissing.
like if you didn't have your first kiss at 14, okay. Why? Like it's okay if literally all of your friends had their first kiss in like the 5th grade. You're 14 years old. It's okay.
It will be okay.
It will be okay, I promise.
Yeah. And in fact, maybe wait a little bit until these boys learn how to kiss.
I mean-
like, why should you be there for that?
That's the other thing. I feel like a lot of the times, like when we went around and talked about like our first kiss, it was like common knowledge that like everyone kind of didn't have a good kiss. Like it's kind of like you kind of have to get it out the way and know that it's not going to be good. No.
No.
But yeah, so that was that. And then the late bloomerness of sexual debuts.
Right.
That's what like me and my friends started calling it that. So it's not like us having like penetrative sex. That's
Right.
not where it started, but like the sexual debut. It
I
feels
like
better
that.
than like taking my virginity and all of that.
Right. Hate that language.
So that also is when I felt like a late bloomer because I think I had my like sexual debut when I was like 23.
Okay.
And then I had like penetrative, like saw a wiener for the first time. No, for like the second time when I was 25.
Mm-hmm.
So like 3 years ago.
You're blessed. I had mine at 20, but also it was another situation of I gotta get this done. Also, what's so funny is sometimes I think about how I hope none of my students ever listen to this podcast. But if you do, I hope
Right.
you learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 20. It was a situation of I've got to get this done. Went on Tinder. It was during study abroad. I went on Tinder. I said, "You look nice enough." Went on a couple dates. Was like, "You seem fine," and then kind of just went from there. And then on study abroad and for the years after, how do I say this like in a nice way? I thought of myself as Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, and I could not be stopped because I was like, well, I have to catch up now, and like I'm a woman who can make decisions and I don't have to be in a relationship and all this stuff. And I maybe made some choices that were not great.
Right.
And so yeah, I guess like I would consider myself a late bloomer in the like sexual debut, but I would consider myself like an especially late bloomer in like romantic relationships. Like I have only been in one. It's the one I'm currently in. Started when I was like 25, 26. And like everyone else had had like 2 or 3 relationships, had gone through heartbreak, had gone through like all that, and yeah, I just had not. So anyway, that's kind of my timeline.
Yeah. I think so we have like similar timelines. I mean, as we talked about in the City Abroad episode, I didn't have sex not once for any reason. And honestly, I think with what happened in my journey, that's a good
Kinda
thing.
glad. Yeah.
But yeah, so I was 25. It was on a Scorpio full moon. That's how I know that, like, oh, he dreams about me in the most serious way, I'm sure, still to this day. Like, it was on, like, some actual, like, witch stuff,
Perfect.
first of all.
Yeah.
And I think, well, and then my actual, like, boyfriend was only last year. And it only lasted literally 2 months. And I felt so ashamed because I was like, I can't even, like, keep a boyfriend. Like, I'm keeping a boyfriend the length of time that, like, a 6th grader is keeping a boyfriend. Like, I was so, like, embarrassed about that. But yeah. So in each stage, I guess we both felt like we were late to the party a little bit in comparison to everyone else.
Yeah. And I do think, like, obviously, yeah, is different for every person. Like, I have some good friends who also, like, didn't have their sexual debuts until, like, 27, 28.
Yeah.
And, like, we're feeling great about that. So, like, that's awesome. And like I
Yeah.
said, maybe I shouldn't have had mine even at 20 because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah, I think because around that time, at least for me, around that time when we were in college was like the Megan Thee Stallion, hot girl summer, like let's treat these men how they treat us, like date around and all that type of stuff. And so I think I was like, oh, so the right thing to do is to just like find whoever and just like keep doing that over and over again. And I think for a lot of people that works. But for me, I was going so back and forth on like, I want to date around because I'm young, but then I also want to just like experience what it's like to just be in a relationship. And so I kept going back and forth on what I wanted until I reached like 24 and I was like, wait, I just want to find somebody that I like enjoy being around, who I want to have an experience with and know that it's going to be awkward. And that, like, we just have, like, a chill experience. And so then I went on Hinge and I was like, I will choose you. And I think that you're going to be okay. Because I felt like some of my friends, if I called them up and asked them right now, like, who was their first person that they had sex with, they probably wouldn't remember his name, which is totally fine. But I know for me, my mind is going to torment me on that situation. So I want to make sure that, like, I don't have, like, intrusive thoughts about some guy who I don't know. But that's just me because I know that I'm an anxious person. I'm going to remember that so terribly. And luckily, it was not a crazy experience and it was very, like, actually hilarious. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And he knew that you Like you were explicit.
Yeah, it was like a back and forth on if I should tell him, but I felt like, let's just do it because I'm going to be so awkward about it that he's probably going to ask anyway. So let me just
Yeah.
let him know.
I didn't. I don't know if like the guy figured it out because obviously like you don't know what you're doing really. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of was just like, what do I got to do? Like I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do wonder if I should have been. But again, I was like really embarrassed. Like I was humiliated. Also because I think in Germany, which is where I was, it's like I'm pretty sure the age that people like have their sexual debuts is even younger, or it was. So I was like, well, I'm especially weird over here. So I don't really want to like I also was like, I don't need this guy knowing that much about me, which is crazy because I'm about to like let him have sex with me. Like
No, but
is
like that's the
insane.
thing. Like I think I chose one reason, but it's not like that was the better reason to just like not telling him. I just did it because it's like if I feel anxious, I want us both to be anxious. Like I'm not about to
Right.
be anxious in secret. But also like on the other side, that's not his business. So like whatever, I don't think there's one that's better than the other one.
No, it's like whatever feels right to you in the moment. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I like looked up, I'm getting my notebook out because I had some things because there's so much conversation right now on like how Gen Z is having less sex, how they're like doing fewer relationships, and actually we are the first year of Gen Z. So
Yeah. I'm a millennial. I refuse to claim. No, I'm a zillennial.
I feel very I'm like that clip of Robert Pattinson where he's like, I'm Gen Z, like that's me. Like I'm not. But technically we are. So when the statistics talk about Gen Z, we're included in that. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'll read some of the articles that have been written. And I mean, basically it's classic stuff like obviously if you're a teenager during COVID,
Yeah.
you're not hooking up.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, people are just like awkward socially and scared and online chronically, so it's harder to have those in-person connections. Like easy access to pornography also. People are like, don't need a real person. I can just people. I think mostly men with that one. That's me making a
Probably.
judgment. No facts to back it up. Anyway, but I thought it was interesting because one of the sociologists that one of the articles interviewed, I forget if it was the Atlantic or the New York Times or whatever, was like, actually, maybe also people, especially young women, aren't having the sex that they don't like. If they don't want to have sex, they're not having sex. And in the
Yeah.
past, they might not have felt as much agency to like make that decision because of the conversations around sex being like really centered on like men and like, I
Yeah.
don't know. So I think that's a nice thought that maybe that's the thing. Like in a post Me Too world, also the girls are like, if I don't want you to be touching me, like don't touch me.
Yeah.
I
I
don't want
mean,
to feel
it's
the
like
pressure.
how everyone's talking about like, oh, we're now in a place in society where like women don't need to cater to men in any way if they don't want to for the most part.
Yeah.
Like in the romantic and sexual realm. So now that like they're not doing that, all the men are literally single and all the women that like men are single because we're just basing it off of like your personality and not like the money that you bring, like the security that you provide. Like it's just based off of who you are.
Yeah.
And now we're all single.
Look at that.
So
And it's not based off like the social pressure to be partnered and get married, which is
yeah.
less, I think. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
still there, but
Which hopefully will make people that like identify as late bloomers feel better because other than like if you want to like biologically carry a child, there's less pressure for you to like be in relationships with men or with anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
that was also something that someone on Instagram said, which was like being a late bloomer allowed them to see like love and sex as separate and then like value the relationships in their life where they had a lot of love that were more platonic and less like romantic and sexual. And I think that's also really beautiful. I do think that like not having, now I'm making judgments on other women. I'm not, but I'm gonna say this. I think that not being someone that had romantic partners from like a really young age did make me a person who like values my friendships a lot more. Like even now in a
Yes.
relationship, that like I don't necessarily prioritize that over my like friendships with the women in my life specifically. Like I'm like there's like these are so important, and I do wonder if you've been someone who's been like in relationships specifically with men, like cuz I guess we're both talking as women who are mostly like in relationships with men.
Yeah.
So that's but yeah, I don't know. I think that's a beautiful idea too. I don't know if you also feel like you experienced that.
Yeah, I think so. Like especially in high school and like seeing friends go through different things. And being like I'm prioritizing y'all. Like I don't have anyone like I'm like literally like the definition of involuntarily celibate. But well, at a certain point, because there was a time in high school where I was very much like, I'm not gonna have sex until I get married. But anyway, that's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, I was like, I'm prioritizing y'all. Like y'all aren't prioritizing like your friendships, but like all I have is y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it made
exactly.
me like value friendships, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts about like how a lot of times we just kind of like have friends. We aren't not like it's a bad thing, I guess, but like we don't feel the need to like think about it as much as like we think about romantic relationships. We don't really treat it similarly, like dedicating time to each other. We just kind of like hang out when we hang out, and I feel like it reminded me of like the importance of putting time into your friendships as well.
Absolutely.
I did mention this a little bit, but I am interested in this idea of like being in your 20s, knowing that everyone is like just fool around, like you don't have to like settle down, like blah blah blah. But then at the same time it's like, but I want to at least experience what it's like to have a fucking boyfriend or to be in like a committed relationship with somebody. So I
Yeah.
constantly feel like the push and pull of like I shouldn't do that because I'm young. But then I also like let me just experience it for the first time, like damn, because the relationship that I was in for 2 months was long distance. And so, not that like long distance relationships don't count, but it's completely different when you're in the same
Yeah.
town. So, like, it's not that I am very much counting it. Like, I am like still healing from that. But, um, yeah, it's like the push and pull of like, oh, should I just like be like, whatever. We're in the society that like nobody wants to like be in a relationship, like, you know. But then at the same time, it's like, well, I do want to at least like see what it's like, you know, look around and be like, oh, so this is what it is. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, well, I'm trying to think. I never really, this is so crazy. I don't know that I had that impulse because I was so afraid of heartbreak. The idea of being in a relationship and then not being in one. Mind you, I got
Yeah.
my heart broken by countless situationships anyway. But, um, yeah, so that was like so scary to me that I just was like I don't want to do that
Yeah.
because I'm both afraid of commitment and I have an obsessive personality.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So,
I'm not afraid of commitment, but I do have an obsessive personality. um,
right.
I'm actually like one commitment maybe too much. Maybe to the point of being like, okay, girl, hold on.
That's so funny actually. Yeah, no, I'm terrified of it. Like I yeah, it was like
Yeah.
so and I would like want freedom and commitment and like everything, and then like if commitment the potential of commitment came my way, I would be like I'm going to do everything I can to sabotage this but then be upset that it didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, that was me during my
So
first kiss. So I guess I have been there.
so there's that. But I don't think I feel like it's so acceptable to be like actually I don't want to just be hooking up. Like I would rather like
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
not like yeah.
yeah, it's totally up to anybody, but it still feels like the shame of like not going along with what everyone else is doing, especially with like the whole
Yeah.
like hot girl culture and all of that. Like I totally get it and I want to be behind it too, like almost too bad, but then it's like
But then there's the follow through.
but then there's the follow through. And also like side note, maybe I would be more open to it if there was like hella fine people everywhere. I'm looking at the men. That's
Yeah.
like that's a whole other thing. Maybe if like there were hot motherfuckers everywhere, then I would be like, I actually can't be in a relationship. Like, it wouldn't be okay. Morally, ethically, like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches. Like, who am I to say no?
Right.
And yet,
So I think it's also that, just to put that one out there. But yeah,
no, that's, and I mean, if anyone knows of a place that's like that, let us
literally drop it
put
down
in the
drop it down in the comments.
We're ready to travel.
Right. So,
So, no, I mean, I also think that men are scary.
there's also that.
I was in situations looking back where I'm like, you could have been seriously hurt. You could have been like, what were you doing at this random man's house who you met in a bar not 30 minutes ago? Phone dead.
Girl, now that's where I draw the line. Not the phone dead.
Phone dead. Be like, oh, do you have a charger? If he wants to murder you, he's not giving you a charger. He's so for real right now.
Oh my God.
So men are scary, and it makes sense that you would want to like, would rather be like, I need to know someone. I'd rather like know someone and have comfort with someone than like be out here being like in scary situations potentially.
Yeah. I
That
think
makes sense.
yeah. And I think the other thing for me is I don't want to be with somebody that is a dickhead. And if I'm messing with you and I don't at least know like how you feel minimum about like Palestine, maximum about like everything else, we can't be doing this. And so I feel like and that's that's where it gets tricky. Like I kind of, if I ever want to like hook up with people, I need to at least know that like you could potentially be like commitment material. And that's where it gets nasty, because then I start wanting it to get into the commitment phase.
Everything you're saying, I'm like, this is so healthy and good. Like, this is amazing. What are you talking about? I can't even.
I think
I never had standards.
No.
This is for real. Basically, my entire 20 to 20. When did the pandemic hit? When we were 23, 22,
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
20 to 23, I had what I would call no standards for who these people were psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. I think it was because again, psychotic. I was not desired in high school. That was
Yeah.
not an experience I had. In college, not really. Like, once in a blue moon, a guy would look my way. Mind you, we went to women's college. So where was the
Yeah.
opportunity?
So there was that, yeah.
So I was at the fraternity houses at Georgia Institute of Technology being like, why won't anyone look at me? Crazy.
Yeah.
So, and then finally, graduate college or do study abroad, graduate college, and I'm like, men are paying attention to me. Men I think are attractive physically are paying attention to me. I am going to take advantage of this and like prove to myself that I am attractive and desirable. So in that, I had a situationship with a guy who was a decade older than me.
Yes.
My neighbor. This is whatever. He'll never see this probably. Basically like fell in love with him over the course of 2 months because he made me feel like the prettiest girl in the world and like told me he loved me, everything, right before I moved to the Netherlands. I almost didn't move to the Netherlands to do my master's degree because I was like, gotta see where this goes. Thank God I was like smart enough to not do that.
Yeah.
And after that, I said, I have to take a break. What I have done to myself in these, mind you, 3 years since I've debuted
Right.
is psychological warfare. So I literally moved my ass to another country during a pandemic, stayed inside my room, made friends with wonderful women from all over the world, said, I will not be going on a dating app. I will not be talking to a man. I will not be doing it. Took a year off and really like had to sit with myself to think about, what is it that I actually want? What is it that I actually need? What are my standards? And that was really good. But that was
Yeah.
like, I guess that doesn't have to maybe it does have to do with being a late bloomer, in that I was like, at least the romantic part of being a late bloomer, being like, I gotta take a step back and evaluate.
Yeah.
Like
No.
this, and I need 12 whole months to do it.
Yep.
Went back to my hometown after that, hooked up with my first kiss, and said, I was like, it really felt like poetic. I was like, we're restarting from the place that we started.
No, literally.
Like
the page turned.
We're hitting reset.
Yeah. No, I wonder if that is like a late bloomer thing, because I also, like, after every situationship and also my romantic relationship, I'm clocking the fuck out for an extended period. I'm not Ariana Grande. I cannot, like, overlap or bounce back very fast. I need time.
Ariana Grande catching strays in this episode.
Sorry. Shout out to Ariana Grande. A fellow Cancer. Let's get into that.
The thing is, Cancers will always act crazy about romantic relationships no matter what, in different ways.
So what? Yep. And I think we're crazy, though.
Mind you, the guy 10 years older than me, Cancer.
It's too much. I've been like, I want to date a Cancer man just to see what it is, but I'm honestly terrified beyond compare.
I will not. I went Scorpio, Cancer, Cancer in a row. Yeah.
No, I think I hit it. I went Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio. Hit almost all of them. All the signs. I need to get an air sign, but no, I got air. I need a fire sign.
Well, that's what I'm with right now, an Aries. Doesn't know. Yeah, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, get a little, like, truly. Like, at least you're not doing emotional warfare.
No,
like, it's
Jesus.
So obvious when you're a little upset.
Yeah, that's the thing about, like, a Cancer man. I would be so scared of, like, the warfare that would take, or even I mean, I dated a Scorpio, but, like, he wasn't crazy. But I would be scared, like, if he wanted to enact revenge.
Literally.
But I'm a Scorpio moon, so I know all about that.
And I'm a Scorpio rising, so I guess.
Here we are. So we're evil. So we just have conveyed that we are evil people and crazy. So
perfect.
Right.
So yeah, I guess that's anything else. Oh wait, late bloomer stuff. Did your, like, in high school or early in college, did anyone ever make you take the rice purity test?
What?
Have you heard of this?
Rice purity test? No.
Yeah. Okay. This is like a sexual experience test that someone at Rice University, like, published online. I want to say probably in, like, 2008. And I remember, like, junior or senior year of high school, people's, like, started sending it around and passing it around. And then in college, again, it came up. I forget in what situation, but people would, like, take it at a party or whatever. Like, you'd be at a kickback and someone would be like, have you taken the rice purity test? Anyway, and I just remember, like, being in high school and everyone's taking it and, like, putting that they've done all this stuff. And I'd been like, kissed a boy. And then it gives you a score at the end. And so people would be like, what's your score?
Oh, God.
And, like, I forget if it was, like, high or low was, like, experience, not experience. And I was so embarrassed. So obviously I would lie.
Yeah, of course.
But then I was like, what do I lie about? Like, what should I say I've done? Also, mind you, I'm reading the nastiest fan fiction and erotica, by the way, at this point. So I feel like I know everything. That also was something. Like, I was literally consuming so much of that.
Like, and I'm reading, like, Harry Styles being put in positions that I've never even could dream of. Literally.
Did you ever, like... I remember being, like, literally 13, reading fan fiction and being like, I'm gonna write one. With what experience and knowledge?
No, you're just taking it from all the other fanfics that you read. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But yeah, the rice purity test, that was, like, traumatic for me as a late bloomer.
Crazy. I mean, maybe I don't think I've heard of that, but that sounds very much like a high school thing.
Yeah. It was not fun. And I feel like my high school, everyone was, like, always hooking up with everyone.
That's so interesting.
But I don't know if you also felt like this, and maybe this is just me in retrospect, but also because I was an obsessive fangirl, I had so many crushes on, like, musicians and actors who were decently older than me that, like, I almost was like, I don't want a high school boy. Like, I was like, that's not for me. Like, I want a man. Crazy. You're 16. But that was also maybe my way of just being like, it doesn't matter that they don't want me because I don't want them either. Because they're just like little boys.
Screaming, no, I didn't do
Okay.
No, I
Okay.
was like I mean, yeah, I liked like
No,
musicians and stuff that
I
were
take it back.
I did like musicians and stuff that were older, but I was very much like I very much like wanted the people in my age group, and they didn't want me, and it was like
Hmm.
just me like chasing after people that didn't want me instead of being like whatever. I was like, no, but please.
Right. I guess there were obviously still some guys that I was like, please pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Never. By the way, since then, like growing up, I like grew up in a pretty small city. So when I go back home for like Christmas, everyone I know from high school is like out at the bars.
Yikes. That sounds
This
awful.
is it's awful, but it's also wonderful because it only happens to me twice a year. So I think if I lived closer and that happened more often. But I kind of love it because it is a thing of like looking around now at again nearly 30 and being like, my God, I can't believe that like the one thing that I wanted when I was 16 was for you to talk to me.
Isn't it crazy?
And we had someone send in a message on Instagram saying that she's 16 right now and she feels like a late bloomer.
No.
Girl, the
Girl.
best is yet to come. And we said we don't like giving advice. That's not
Right.
advice, that's just the truth.
I mean, I can't even give that because, well, no, that's true. Yeah, that is actually true. That is actually true.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, I won't say that because some people like actually had fun in high school, but I feel like it's funner out of high school and just like knowing what
Yeah.
you want better. Like that was the other thing. Like I didn't know what I wanted. All I knew was like who I wanted.
Yes. Yeah.
And so now like being older, like deciding like who I want to like spend time with and like have fun with feels so much better because I know what it is. I'm not just like, I think this person is cute and they probably don't like me, but I'm gonna pursue it anyway. Like, huh? So
Imagine.
yeah,
We just don't have time like that anymore.
first of all. And also like, and that was the other thing is like, I think also being a late bloomer, it's like being socially awkward and like no one wants you, but it's also like depending on where you live. And
Yeah.
like what you look like, because I think it was common knowledge with everyone that knew who I was that I only liked white guys in high school and in middle school. It was common knowledge. Like people walked up to me and was like, "Oh, I heard you liked white guys," and
What?
it was the damn truth. Like, and I was like, no, that's not true. Yeah, the fuck it was. And so I think now I think that's also like contributing to the late bloomer shit, because like if anyone is a person of color that like in middle school and high school and maybe even beyond liked exclusively white men, they likely know the story of like, I like you, but like if I dated you, my dad would be so mad because he doesn't want me dating black girls. Like if you're a black girl and you're listening to this right now and you had a period of time where you liked a white guy or you like multiple, you most likely know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I think that also aided in the late bloomer stuff. And now I'm kind of like am kind of defiantly into men of color, but not. It's more like I had to like untrain my brain. So it is part defiance, but it's mostly because I just prefer that now. But I think it's also like,
Well, I mean, like all like romantic heroes in movies were like white guys. Like we were literally like conditioned for that.
yeah,
And like just because you weren't white doesn't mean you weren't also living in like a white supremacist state that was like conditioning you for that. So
yeah. So
like,
I think
yeah.
that also like aided in the late bloomer stuff. And now that I'm not into that, I've bloomed.
Oh my God.
Ew, in quotes, disgusting. I'll throw up. So yeah.
Yeah. That, I mean, obviously I don't know that experience personally.
Right.
You can tell. But like I cannot imagine, and I think especially because I mean, probably it's all over the US, but probably like especially in the South it might be like culturally embedded in so many people, that idea.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
there have been multiple, like, I mean, at least 4 different guys that I've had that conversation with.
That's actually insane. Also, to be a man and to say that shit out loud, jail.
Like, I've had it
Like,
said out loud. I've had
literally.
like one of their friends tell me. I've had it like Facebook messaged or MySpace messaged.
Dox
Yeah.
them, put that shit on Twitter. Like that.
Right. I have the evidence. I'm going to lay it out from like
Yeah.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Well, still
Um,
evidence.
But anyway, so that's that.
That makes a
But
lot of sense.
yeah. So I think a lot of things contribute to people like feeling like they're behind. But at the end of the day, it's everyone's journey. Here's me giving advice. Is that advice? It's everyone's journey.
It's everyone's journey, and like I hope that young people nowadays don't feel as much pressure
I hope,
around
yeah.
like timelines, like and I think as we get older we also realize like how arbitrary and like dumb life timelines are. Like now at this age it's like people are doing a bunch of different things with their lives. Like I'm here podcasting and like some of my friends are like on fertility journeys, and like some people
Yeah.
are like, you know, I don't know, working on boats or whatever. Like everyone's doing something different. Everyone's on like a different timeline. And I think when you're young, you're like, I have like it's like you haven't been alive that long, so like 3 years makes a lot of difference when you're like, I gotta have my first kiss by 14 because if it's not there by 17 that's like not okay. And it's like you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be
Like
fine.
don't do anything you don't want to do. If you want to
For
like
sure.
have that first kiss, hell yeah, go ahead and do
Yeah,
it.
but if it's because you, like, all your friends have done it and you haven't done it and you feel like you're embarrassed because you haven't done it, then, like, you don't have to push yourself.
Oh.
You don't want to enter something out of embarrassment. If you
That's
want to
not
get it out the
fun.
way, then fine. But, like, yeah, maybe, like, do something that you want to do because you want to do it. So... But
Yeah.
there's also people that are like, they want to do it, but there's like no opportunity. So I guess it's just like late bloomer can mean anything.
Yeah, in like any circumstance, and it's all valid.
Yeah. And also like we aren't late bloomers. You and I are just on 2 different journeys. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I also talked to friends who were not late bloomers about their experiences being like, and it's like, that does not sound fun, some of it. Like, but for real, I cannot imagine being, and this is like the late bloomer of it all because I never did it. And so obviously for so many people, this is normal. I can't imagine being in high school, being like 15, 16, 17, and being in a serious long-term relationship.
That is something. No, there's people, because I don't know if it's just like a cultural thing because I grew up like in the country south, but like there's so many people that are married to the people that they started dating like sophomore year.
That is so crazy.
I hope y'all are happy.
Like, yeah, that's, I don't know, like, again, I think about myself at 16, I'm like, you in a long-term relationship?
That actually gives me chills. Like, I really hope, like, not I hope, I'm glad that that did not happen to me. Yeah. But, okay.
But again, everyone has their own thing. Anyway.
Right. We're, like, bordering the line of, like, sounding so judgmental, but also being like, and that's just my experience.
You know what? It's a little bit like, I felt so judged for so long for being a late bloomer, so I feel like it's a little bit okay. It's a little bit okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not judging. But
as we're listening, let's practice the idea of releasing shame and embarrassment, for sure.
Right. The most difficult thing. Yeah.
So, speaking of not being in a relationship, a long-term relationship when we're 16 years old, what are the things that we're glad that we did not experience when we were younger? When we were supposed to have boyfriends, when we were supposed to like have had our first kiss, and like supposed to have had sex and all of that. What are we glad that we did not experience?
I'm glad I didn't have to experience like dealing with my parents as a teenager and all that, or like,
Woof.
where are we gonna go make out, where are we gonna hook up, because like we're 16, we live with our parents, both of us. Like maybe one of us has a car. Like I'm grateful.
Yeah, I mean, just to let you know, like, I just moved out of my parents' house 2 months ago. And so when I was in my relationship, whenever he would come and visit me, it was us being like, okay, so where the fuck are we gonna go? Okay, so we have to get an Airbnb. Okay, so we have to make out in the car. So, like, we have to like have sex in the back of this car because there's nowhere else where we're supposed to go. Like, it was very much giving high school. And I can tell you right now, not fun.
Yeah, I guess that's not necessarily a late bloomer thing, but I just associate it the most with like...
No, but like it is because mostly people, like, the assumption is that like when you're not in high school and college that you live not with your parents. So I mean,
yeah, or that
yeah.
you were long distance, or that one of you, doesn't. Or like, even I guess if you do that, it's like, well, we're adults now. It's like, whatever. Like, we're not, my mom's not asking me if I got my homework done, and you're
Right.
like sneaking in my bedroom window. Like, that's,
Yeah, there's less pressure to like introduce somebody to your parents and have like that extremely awkward, like like remembering like introducing him to my parents makes me want to like actually like drink poison. But that was also like, but anyway, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I think that's because my sister was not a late bloomer, and I was in college when she was like in high school. And I just remember my mom being like, well, your sister's boyfriend is here. And my parents were really chill. So like her boyfriend would just like spend the night all the time. And I'm like, that's so crazy. Like,
That is crazy.
you'd have to put a gun to my head to get me to spend the night with someone I'm hooking up with in my parents' house.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Quite literally, yeah.
Anyway, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think like the normal like bullshit of like high school, like the high school drama of it all, like when people, like someone would be dating Travis and then a month later they would be dating Charlie, and then someone else, her friend, would start dating Travis, and then it becomes like a whole thing. And it's like all like the close proximity like high school stuff I'm glad that I didn't experience. And like also the prom dates of it all, I went with my best friend both times.
I also went with my best friend.
Yeah, and I think that was much more fun than being like, I kind of have to like stick to the guy that I'm matching outfit wise. I don't want to do that. Yeah, and I think also just like similarly to like the high school bullshit is like everybody in your business. I mean, I'm sure like there are friend groups where everybody's like in your business, but especially like when you're younger, when you're like supposed to be having these like relationships, everybody knows everything about each other, and that's not my vibe, to say the least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm glad I didn't experience those things.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any, like, because I was in everyone's business in high school. So, like, I was part of the problem for sure, because if I knew that someone was hooking up, I'm spreading that gossip.
Screaming. I probably did the same thing, but I think most of my close friends were also late bloomers, so we were kind of spreading gossip that, like, of people that we don't know like that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was doing too. But still,
Right.
It was like literally everyone, even people you don't know that well, are in your business in high school.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's
So
yeah. And then did you want to talk about things that we wish, or do we kind of already go over?
No, like, yeah, like things that we wish that we could have experienced if we weren't late bloomers. I have a list.
Share.
First of all, wearing someone's Letterman when it got cold outside.
This was not California culture.
Well,
But
well, that was, you know what a Letterman is?
yeah,
Okay.
like in Glee, that's like my reference for it, because it was not California gold.
Well, yeah, when it got colder, all the athletes, they had to pay like $400 for their fucking Letterman. Because you got the letter for free, I think. But then you had to like put it on a jacket that like cost a whole bunch of money. And all the girlfriends would wear their boyfriends' Lettermans. But I think most of the people that I knew, they had their own Lettermans. So even if they were dating, they were just both matching in their Lettermans. But I still think that it's very cute, like the concept of like wearing your boyfriend's Letterman. So I do miss that. Also, my number one thing that I... Multiple people that I have been in situationships with say that this is childish, and I know that the reason that I want to do it is because I'm a late bloomer. Hickeys. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, thank you. I'm obsessed with giving hickeys, and I'm obsessed with like having one. I know that that's too. I've been in 4 situationships. 50% have called it childish. I don't think
Well,
so. Well, maybe it is, but I think it's really fun, and I know that it's like very high school, but like I feel like that's just like the thing that I missed, and so I want to like similarly to like making out in the back of a car. I was doing that like for like multiple. I did that so much with like my ex because like
mhm.
I lived at my parents' house, and it was like very inconvenient, but it also felt like oh my god, like I feel like I'm in school.
Yeah, I think there are some moments like that maybe that I'm like, oh, damn, like would have been nice. It would be nice to now maybe have that memory.
Yeah,
But I also think that, and this is crazy of me to say because I just said I don't think 16-year-olds should be in relationships, but like I read so much YA fiction as a young person, like I was on the John Green heavy.
shout out to John
Well, you know,
Green.
he's writing a novel for adults, a debut novel for adults. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be first in line.
Interesting. Wow.
Wait, we'll get into it later. It's crazy what the plot is because it literally is like what's happening in the world right now.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I do kind of like wish that I had had that experience of like teen love, which I think is like
Yeah.
so unguarded and like you don't have like all the shit of the world. Like you're really just like feeling like that's what I actually like really loved being like looking back, like loved being a teenager because like your emotions are just so real and raw and like you don't have vocabulary for it yet and like you don't have like the tools to like deal with it in the same way that we do as adults, and I think that's kind of beautiful. And I do maybe wish that I had like had a reciprocated experience of like young love. Like that's actually
Yeah.
kind of sad to me. Damn.
Yeah, like yeah,
I'm
the
sad.
concept of the concept of like mutual attraction, but like you're really young. And yeah, I think I also like miss that. I think similarly like another thing on my list was like dating in proximity, even though I just said that that was like something that I would hate. It's also something that I do miss a little bit
Yeah.
because it is like you have to put in a little bit more effort when you're dating as an adult.
Yeah.
Versus like by law you have to like be in high school. Unless you like sign something where like you don't have to be in high school, like by law you have to be there. And so you're gonna see your partner or
Yeah.
whatever.
But that would also be college, but that wasn't what it was for us.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that would also be college. I forgot that yeah, that would also be college. Yeah.
Both went to women's
Right.
college and weren't dating women.
Right.
So
I think
We didn't.
the other thing that I had was like just basic dating things. Like I have been diagnosed with anxiety, so I know that I have that. Love it. Right. And also like mild OCD and ADHD, so that's great. Also, I have no health insurance, thank you to Donald Trump, so I can't even be medicated for all of the 3 things that I just mentioned. Anyway,
I'm so serious.
basic
You need to move here. I'm like not even kidding.
saying no to anything
Mhm.
besides like several things, but
Right.
anyway, learning how to flirt was already like a challenging experience for someone with social anxiety, but like I'm sure if I had the landscape and slash the experience of knowing how to flirt, it wouldn't be so awkward. Going back to my my love story. I meant my experience I had at the restaurant earlier today that I mentioned. Not my love story. I'm
Not
screaming.
yet.
I'm screaming. We don't even know how old he is.
How old do you think he is?
I'm scared. I mean, I think he's like 33.
Okay.
But he said, side note, and we might have to cut this too, but he said, he was like, I guess he does photography on the side, because he was talking to my coworker who also does photography on the side about like how he was in school and they all use film cameras. And then when digital cameras became popular, his teacher took away all their film cameras and gave them digital cameras. What the fuck? So was he in school in like 2003?
Okay. Are you sure he's not 52?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Like, what
That's
the
what
hell?
that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so we're going to have to get to the bottom of it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I think just like basic dating things like learning how to flirt and like knowing that like what to say to people. Like I've learned as I've dated the 4 people that I've dated, like sometimes they don't have to know everything. Like I feel like especially like during sex, TMI, I feel like I am like, ow, like that doesn't feel good. Like I don't say stuff in a flirty way. And I feel like maybe if I knew better earlier on, then I wouldn't sound so like strange all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, obviously in high school I was not flirting, and if I was, not successfully.
Right. So
Also because I was so deeply insecure. Like,
yes.
I always had to be, like, performing and posturing, and, like, this went on through college.
Yeah.
I would say it's a recent development that I'm not annoying, to be honest. Like, I just was really annoying, and I'll own up to that. It's just the way it was. I like listened to this interview with Lena Dunham where she's like, I've always been annoying. Like I'm just an annoying person. I'm like, well, I guess that's me too. But
Same.
whatever.
Yeah.
Now I think the flirting, and I actually think you're probably better at flirting than you think you are. Because it sounds like you had a whole conversation with this guy. Like, you know, like, I don't know.
I mean, I think I was like definitely put on the spot and in the moment. So I think there was like a good 1 to 2 minutes where like I was in the zone because I was put on the spot.
I guess for you, because you don't have the commitment issues, something that was really helpful for me when I was like in my debut with commitment issues was I could just like kind of say whatever and like be creative in my flirting because I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to commit anyway. So I'm going to like say crazy shit. And I, to this day, and the problem is it worked. Like, I would say insane stuff, and they'd be like, that's interesting. Like, let's hang out some more. And I'm like, that's...
Uh-oh.
And that's why the people that I was dating were insane, because I was saying crazy things and I was acting crazy, and they were interested in that.
Screaming.
So...
I feel like this reminds me, you're probably not going to remember this, but when you came to visit me over study abroad, when we were in the train station doing what the fuck even ever, and the 2 Australian guy, or no, the 1 Australian guy and his friend who was coming to visit came up to us, and I was just like talking like a normal person, and then they walked away and you were like, what was that? And I remember thinking, oh wait, I think I am good at flirting and talking to people when I like, there's no world in which we are going to do anything. Like I am completely and utterly unattracted to them.
So I've known for a long time that you're good at flirting, is what you're saying.
Screaming, no. Well, I mean, I guess I just gave evidence to yes, but... Only with people that like I'm not into at all, because it just doesn't, it feels like similarly to the commitment thing, like there's like I'll just say whatever, like
yeah, because I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And now I'm still a flirt. I love flirting with people.
I want to get good at that.
That's again, I don't think I'm good at it. But again, now I have the thing of I'm a flirty person. My partner knows that I'm going to go, if I'm out at the club with my friends, I might be flirting. I'm not following through, or I'm not also leading people on like I generally say.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a relationship, but now it's like, I'm like, well, it's not going to go anywhere anyway. Because we both know, like...
I think that's what makes the flirting good. Like, when you're confident...
so much.
Yeah, like I think loving it and feeling confident in it means that you're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. And it's such, like, a fun... I just find it really fun to go out and be flirty. Especially if the other person is, like, on the same page. And you can just be like, cool.
One day... I'll get there. I'll get there one day.
I know you're already there. You just need to believe.
I know. That's why I have to like use this guy as like my lab rat and like flirt with him over and over again and just hope that it never goes anywhere serious, because I just want to use him to flirt and like give him tips on my food.
Perfect.
I gave him like $4 last time.
Wow.
I'm a big spender. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
So, right.
On
Next.
the schedule. 20 minutes.
Okay, the last thing that I wanted to ask was, would you have rather debuted earlier, or are you okay with me too? I'm so glad that it all happened the way that it did.
Yeah.
For me.
Same.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe I should have debuted later, as we've already.
Here we are. Yeah, so.
But no, everything was great, mostly. So I'm happy.
No, Anyway. So I have like a mini small game of Marry, Fuck, Kill. in the essence of being in high school / late blooming. I have 3 of them.
Okay.
So, marry, fuck, kill, spin the bottle, truth or dare, or never have I ever. All of these are ways to like either physically like get with somebody or like having to out loud say something sexual.
Yeah.
I personally am killing spin the bottle.
I'm killing never have I ever.
Screaming.
Because the stress of having to actually come up with and say something.
Also, like for late bloomers, raise your hand if you won that game every single time.
Lie so I could like put one finger down. I would be like, I could have done that.
Right.
Lies.
So, right.
Yeah.
I think I'll kill spin the bottle. I'll kill spin the bottle. I'm gonna marry never have I ever, and I will fuck truth or dare. Because the dares sometimes are too extreme for me.
Yeah. That's true. Damn, wait, truth or dare also was traumatic. Truth or dare might have actually, I changed my answer. I'm killing truth or dare. That was, I think, is kind of like the person that I was in middle school specifically. Like, people loved nothing more than making me do like the cringiest, stupidest shit as a dare because no one actually wanted to like do anything hee hee ha ha silly. So hated that. And then the truth throw is just embarrassing. So I'm gonna do truth or dare, killed, fuck, spin the bottle, marry, never have I ever. Because at least I won every time.
True.
So.
Okay. Period.
Yeah.
The next one is like the online version of this, like the MySpace Facebook version of this, which is ask me anything. 20 questions, which everyone always knew. If you ask somebody 20 questions, there's a question that is like sexual in nature that somebody's actually trying to ask you, but they're masking it. Anyway, or poking somebody on Facebook. I'm killing the 20 questions because I know exactly what we're all doing here. Let's just ask what we need to ask. I think I'll kill 20 questions. I will marry poking because I just thought that was cute. Like, I never felt like that was kind of weird. And then I will have to fuck ask me anything, even though, yeah.
Yeah. I think mine are probably the same because also ask me anything was kind of fun. Like, it was bad for me, but it was fun.
Even though, like, I hella lied on that. We talked about that. Like, we, like, hella lying, like, acting like people were asking me shit on Facebook. Nobody was asking me anything. I was posting on my status fake question or fake answers to fake questions.
Yeah. I loved asking myself questions specifically about who I had a crush on.
Literally just being fake as fuck, yeah.
Yeah, Form Spring, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
But it was kind of fun. Like, that's the thing. I was doing psychotic shit, but didn't care. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, did you say yours?
I think, well, yeah, I would do the same. So I would do marry, poke, fuck, AMA, kill, 20 questions.
Okay, yeah. And the last one, marry, fuck, kill.
I'm scared.
This one is a little bit of an inside joke. Connor Story, Hudson Williams, Paul Mescal.
He's so for real right now.
Sorry, Paul. It's harder for Leah, but for me, sorry, Paul.
I'm also gonna kill Paul. Sorry.
Sorry, Paul.
I just, yeah. Now what?
I suddenly got fear in me because I was like, wait, so then I have to say the other one.
So now what? A prison of your own construction.
Right. It's suddenly not funny anymore. I suddenly don't even want to answer the other two. It was all fun and games until I realized just now, in the moment that I had to answer the other ones.
I'm like, me not being able.
Here's the thing. No, let's do Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
Shane Holland or Ilya Rosanov.
No.
Yeah. You know I'm trying to, okay. You know you know the answer. You literally know the answer.
I think we both have the same answer.
Really?
Fuck Ilya Rosanov, marry Shane Hollander. No? It's so dramatic. By the way, I want everyone to know that I was a big Paul Mescal fan because I actually don't have my own taste. So it's the actor. Like, it's literally the actor du jour for me because now I'm on Hudson Williams and it's like, okay, that's everyone. That's awesome. Cool.
I'm screaming.
I was such a big Paul Mescal fan that when I was in London some time ago. He was doing a play. I wanted to go see the play. I was like, it's really expensive. I'm not going to go. I was luckily traveling with a friend who has a lot of money, and she dropped 400 pounds
My God.
on me going to see Paul Mescal
That's crazy.
in person. And now I'm saying I'm going to kill him, so I'm grateful.
Right.
So, but
Well.
thank you. It was a beautiful play. He was good. So
Good.
I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay.
But actually, one day we are gonna have to do the Connor and Hudson one, and you're gonna have to decide.
You know what my answer is gonna be. It's just a matter of me publicly saying it.
Right. Maybe we should do this again next week because I want to come up. I like kind of started thinking about some too.
Okay.
That could be it. Wait, I actually have one. Can I do one?
Yes.
Okay, one of the ones I said was, okay, marry, fuck, kill, first dates, second dates, third dates.
Fucking no. I have to kill first. I'm killing the first date.
Oh my god.
If
okay.
the second date goes good, then I'm fucking the first. I mean, wait. That sounds like I'm saying two things at once. Like I'm having sex on the second date and I'm also fucking the second date. Yeah, I think I'm marrying the third date because if we got to third date, at this point, I want you to be my boyfriend.
Okay.
So there's that.
I am going to kill the second date. I'm going to fuck the first date, as in like F the first date and marry the third date. Because I actually love, and this is me being psychotic, I love a first date because it's like,
First dates are really fun. Yeah.
But then if you accidentally kind of say yes to a second date with someone that you're not really that into, or it's just like weird because it's like now we're on a second date, I actually don't. And then third date's like, okay, I actually do want to be here. Because either I've gotten the courage to say, this isn't working out. It's not you, it's me. And so we're not going on the third date. Or I actually want to be there. You know?
I'm screaming. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, let me think. I can see that. I do think that there's like a fire, me like having barely dated. There's like a fire in like the second day. Like if we make it to the second one, then that means we both are into each other. Well, from my perspective, shit, after the first one. And so there's like a passion there that's like, we should like do something.
And this is where, once again, I'm the problem. Because I've gone on so many second dates where I'm like, I guess I'll go on another one. Like the last one wasn't great, but like, whatever, I'm bored. And then I'm on the second date and I'm like, wow, I should have said no.
That just means you're around more people that you're attracted to. For me, it's not.
But we also know that my standards were the lowest anyone's could possibly be. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Well, okay.
Well, anyway, we have 10 minutes left on the clock. Well,
yeah.
It's still unlimited today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
So we don't.
Okay, so do we have anything else to say about late bloomers? Or do we want to move on? Let me see. I wrote like a whole bunch of notes that I did not bullet point.
Well, go through them.
So I put reveling in doing things that we've deemed being too old for, like getting hickeys, making out in the back of a car, not looking for someone to marry. How I hold shame around being inexperienced. That's another thing. Holding shame around being inexperienced to the point where it's like whenever I have sex, I like completely freeze up because I'm afraid to do something crazy and like try something out a little like wacky wild, and I embarrass the fuck out of myself because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So then I don't do anything. So then I'm like the chronic pillow princess because I'm afraid to like actually do anything. So there's that.
That was me, yeah.
Well,
or I would just, and this is once again, go like, I'm going to be like the wackiest, craziest person you've ever met. And then they'd be like, please come over again.
Right. Whoops. You did it. Yeah. And lacking the confidence to make the first move. That's another thing that I think is a part of being like a late bloomer. Having like this sort of like passion inside of me to like want to go for it, but feeling too embarrassed to do so. Mm-hmm. And then also like the good things, like how I was talking about during study abroad, like being attracted to somebody that like had no interest in me felt very like young of me. But now that I am older, I'm glad that I had my first experience with somebody who I knew was into me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like things like that. And also, like, the last thing that I put on there was, like, I still feel awkward talking about sex because I, like, have barely had it. And so it just feels kind of weird to even, like, talk about it. Like, even with my friends or even my therapist, I try to talk in code with her about sex because I'm like, girl, like, this feels so strange. Like, you know that I had sex? That's really weird.
I
So,
also I think like a lot of yours can also be attributed to just like, now I'm gonna sound like a judgmental European, which I'm not. I think the American purity culture is so deeply entrenched in all of us in a way that like we cannot fathom. Like the Puritans really did one on all of us like truly hundreds of years ago and we're still here. And I think there's so much shame around talking about sex, even if you're someone who's like theoretically not in the like, you know, you theoretically don't have shame around sex or whatever. And I also think that leads to a lot of anxiety and like the first move thing, I think, especially for women and in like a very patriarchal, very traditional culture is like we were never taught that we should be making the first move or how to make the first move,
yeah.
fortunately.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
still
my-
unpacking that for sure.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the day where I like don't feel strange. That's the other thing. Like this is like me just airing all my shit out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find somebody that I can be like, we aren't together, but I want to just experiment and do like the craziest shit just to like see what I like.
Yeah.
I guess it's
As
not
you
crazy.
should. No.
Right. Well,
I think
that's
I
my
feel
current
like I
plan.
kind of had that, but it
Maybe I'll
wasn't
manifest that later today.
right. I think that's really
Yeah.
I feel like I had something else to say. Well, yeah, I don't have any other notes.
Okay. Well, if you are a late bloomer, thank you for listening, and I hope you felt some sense of like solidarity. And if you're not a late bloomer, thank you for listening and seeing a different perspective, and we would love to hear everyone's thoughts if you have thoughts.
Yeah.
So now we want to go to the cultural moment.
Mm-hmm.
Leah, do you have one?
Should. Surely it's somewhere on my phone where I was putting my cultural moments. Oh, this actually is. I already had this on my moments before we kind of mentioned it in our chat this week. And I feel like maybe I've done 2 YouTuber moments, but whatever. Troye Sivan, Connor Franta coming out videos.
Yeah.
Did that hit for you back in the day? Or no?
I don't remember. I definitely followed both of them at some point, but I don't know if I was still following them by the time that they came out. I don't remember.
I just remember like sitting in my room seeing Troye Sivan's coming out video pop up on my YouTube and being like, oh my God, my life, what is my life? Like being like, I can't, first of all, me at probably the ripe age of 15 being like, I can't believe this. So actually, we should have known. And people did. I just had a huge crush on Troye Sivan.
Okay. Yeah.
And Connor Franta. And so both of those were really upsetting for me as someone
I'm
with a
screaming
crush.
at the crush on Connor Franta. That one was more clear to me. But love that.
No, not to me.
I hope he's doing good.
Yeah. And then also just their whole drama then that happened, I guess, because they were dating.
Oh, did I know that?
And they broke up and Troy wrote an album.
Which one?
Or he wrote a song. Ugh, which song is it? It's on, I can't, wow. We're learning
Stop.
something new every day.
If I did know that, I completely don't remember that at all.
It was on Bloom, so 2018.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
it was
know
The
that
Good
one.
Side.
I know Blue Neighborhood.
And, whoa, Moment in Culture, Blue Neighborhood dropping.
Let's talk about
We can talk about that.
let's talk about ease. Let's talk about fools. Come on. Let's talk about that.
That actually, Troy, I'm saying this and I'm so serious because I love the new album. I love Something to Give Each Other. I love One of Your Girls. I think that's a beautiful song. Blue Neighborhood is my favorite and I think the best.
He was too iconic for that. He was too fucking iconic for that.
Youth
Yeah.
and the music video trilogy that went along with it.
I don't think I watched any of the music videos.
What?
No,
The
I
music
just
video
replayed the hell out of the album.
The music video trilogy was like tragic queer love story.
OMG.
Suburban tragic queer love story.
OMG.
And I was like, whoa. I think it was a trilogy. Yeah.
Period.
And now Troy's like I mean, he's been really famous for a long time, but I do think about that. Like, I was really watching like him getting his legs waxed by Zoella.
Like him doing like dumb ass challenges with Tyler Oakley. Like shout out to Tyler Oakley. Yeah.
Tyler Oakley was big for me.
Oh, me? I bought his memoir and I read the fuck out of it. Period.
Him and the
Period.
candy. Like,
Yes. Oh my God.
yes.
Stop. No, I was like, wait, this is actually better than I thought it was gonna be. It was really good.
And he like had a documentary or something at one point. Like he did a longer.
shit.
I don't remember. But yeah, I loved Tyler. When Tyler and Troy would do their collabs, I was set for those.
I loved when they did their collabs, when Tyler did his collabs with like Zoella and like the British, when he went over to like London and stuff. And then when Tyler and his roommate, I think, did videos, Corey, they were so funny too. And then they had the podcast. They were so funny to me.
I don't think that we as a culture talk enough about what Tyler Oakley gave to us.
Sure.
And like because also he was kind of the first, like, I think being like a fangirl and like a content creator and a fangirl is now like a thing. He was the first.
I forgot about him in One Direction.
Yeah, but he kind of trailblazed.
No, he was so iconic. He was so funny to me. Like, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe that's my my moments in culture. Was
That
like
one
the
was
coming out
really good.
and then all of we can like, I could talk about like early YouTube.
We're not gonna get into it, but
No.
do you remember when Jim, when he like recorded the lock screen, the fucking background of
Kennedy?
Zoella, of Zoe and whatever his name was?
Alfie, I'm not even
And
kidding.
Alfie?
That's the second thing on my culture moments list is Zoe and Alfie relationship reveal.
Girl said, Jim, why did you do that? It wasn't his fault, but that
No.
was so funny. That was
amazing.
iconic.
Oof. Whoa.
Whoa, indeed.
And I forget what happened after that. Like, then they had to make a video together.
I think so. It was something because they were like doing Playlist Live or something, like weren't they in like Orlando
Yes.
or something?
Yeah. By the way, the fact that I'll never be a YouTuber in 2013 at Playlist
I
Live
know. Damn.
said it
Or
before.
VidCon.
or VidCon,
Rats.
what I would give, like, it's
No,
not
yeah.
even. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that cultural moment. That was everything. I need to literally, after this, I'm gonna have to put my headphones in so I can get the experience and listen to ease. Holding on tight. Girl, Troy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's it.
Okay, so now
manifesting.
the manifestations. I haven't actually properly decided on my. Oh, yes, I have. I do have one.
Okay.
Mine's like very plain and like basic. Besides what I said earlier about like having like an experimental partner, which is also just like, I guess, dating around. I am about to like have hopefully like the summer of my life. I have nothing planned. But I'm privileged enough to live in peace. And that is, I'll put peace in quotes, but yes, there's no active warfare happening. So I want to live the summer up.
Hell yeah.
And that means that when I go to the doctor in a couple of weeks, I need to have all negatives down that motherfucker. Okay?
Hell yeah.
So let's hope that that is the case, and that's what I'm manifesting.
I just know it's gonna be awesome, and the negatives are gonna be there.
I hope so. 100% negative. So yeah.
Wow. My manifestation just came to me today, as in the last 2 hours, which is I am manifesting for you
Oh God. What?
a wonderful, flirtatious little relationship with the guy working at the cafe.
I'm
at the restaurant.
screaming.
I want, and if nothing, I want it to be such a fun story.
Me too. I also want to manifest that.
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
see. You have the power to make my manifestation come true. Consider that.
I know. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I have to lock in whatever that means, figure out
Yeah.
when he's going to be on schedule and show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to be a matter of like serendipity, and then I can like lock in after that.
I guess
once
I'm
I actually know.
manifesting. I'm wishing for the serendipity.
Yep. I think it'll be fun. He's like kind of weird, which is good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for using your manifestation on me.
Well, as we know, my manifestations either go really good or really bad. So
Well, let's hope
we'll
that
see.
that
This
would
one's
go.
gonna go perfect. Well, thanks for listening.
I think this is gonna have to be chopped, cropped. They should have never gave us a free trial because, right.
Right. Well, I'll just stop the recording. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.